different classes of bots rated. We are doing two of the smaller classes. We are now doing healers and triple changes. So quite, like I said, a small class of each, hence why we combined the two. But if you've not seen my other ones, go and check out my gunners, go and check out my air class, go and check out my warriors, go and check out my specials. They're all done. And like I said, now we're up to healers and triple changes. And I imagine soon we will be doing combats and doing combiners as well. But let's get cracking with healers in the game, rating them. So, first off, we have got Wheeljack. So, for me, Wheeljack was one of the worst healers in the game at one time. I didn't really rate him. But over the time, I feel like people are struggling a bit to get through bases. And all of a sudden, we need that sort of speed up. And he got ability 11 with the instant heal. So I feel like Wheeljack sort of come into his own a bit last maybe a couple of years and sort of come from maybe one of the worst combats to being actually up there. And for me, he's definitely A tier. I wouldn't say it's S tier. I wouldn't say like unbelievably good. There's only one healer that's going to go into S tier. Spoiler, but I'm pretty sure you know who that is. But I think that Wheeljack for me is the second best healer in the game. Um, really, really good. I use him on my war team with another healer. And sadly, the other ones I just sort of fell away really. But I do love that speed up. I love Kunai that works with him. I love combats that work like that, that do well on a bot, but then also work for others, but not as well. I think it's a really good idea. It just means that they can be utilized on a lot of them, but they specialize with one. I really like that idea, and it works well. Next we've got Ratchet, and I think Ratchet goes slightly just below Wheeljack. Very, very similar. But that speed up makes a big difference for me. It really does. I know that Ratchet has the bigger heal, but that speed up with Wheeljack with the healing really, really helps to sort of get through tricky situations with him. I feel like the game now is really focused on that cluster, and we're focused on combiners and outpost bots and getting through them quicker, and that's become a massive part of war attacks. And I feel like any bot that sort of gets you through those parts are going to be essential content and really, really good. So, Wheeljack pips Ratchet for me for that reason. Next up, we have Minerva. Dead simple. S tier. That healing tower is absolutely immense. Off the chart good. Really, really good. And I can't see them nerfing Minerva's tower. I think it's very well balanced. I don't think it's massively OP. I do think it's perfectly balanced. Really, really good healer. Really, really good ability. Doesn't have ability 11 yet. Doesn't have any kind of G1 core yet, which is scary. But I'm sure if she ever was to fall out of the meta, then we could easily just add a G1 core or add something else to sort of add ability 11 even to bring her back up to speed again, which is where these bots should be. So really, really good bot. Next up, we've got First Aid, and First Aid sadly goes down to C tier. Dale's put that he has made some changes to First Aid, but obviously we're working off right now. We can't sort of guess what's going to happen. We talk about the Medibots and his heal being more, things like that. But that AoE heal doesn't work as well anymore, especially with pathing nowadays, with bots splitting. And his Medibots with the shielding just don't do as well with FFDs being so prominent right now. Well, not just right now, generally. So, First Aid sadly sort of drops down to C tier. Then we have. Then we got Retgar. Really difficult one, Retgar, because I really do feel that combine a timeout where if you don't know, if you use Retgar's ability on a bot and make it invulnerable or doesn't die, come back to life, whatever you want to call it, not invulnerable, but come back to life. Once you drop a combiner, it resets it and takes it away. Because the way that works, that system is when you drop your combiner, it kills your bots. That's how the system works. It thinks it's killed all your bots, and then when the combiner dies, it brings them all back to life again. So you lose that regen. If they were to fix that, I feel like Retgar would be maybe up here. Honestly, S tier. I think that ability is genius. I think it's really, really good. But because that combiner resets it, sadly, it kind of goes down here. Because there's nothing worse than using ability and wasting points. Nothing worse. If it gets through that sort of combiner part, it goes through the roof. It's absolutely amazing. But sadly, you can't go against a certain base and have a war team. People don't really switch in loads and loads of healers and different like that. You know, and you can't be sort of switching out Redguard because you're dropping a combiner late in the match or early in the match maybe. Again, it's just something you don't need to think about, innit? It's just something you think, I shouldn't be having to think about this. I shouldn't have to think when am I going to drop my combiner to use the ability. You should be able to use the ability when you want to use the ability. And so that's a major flaw. Once they fix that, I think it'll be up there as one of the best healers in the game. If and when they can. If they've got tech. If they're able to, that is. So now we're going on to triple changers. And now, first off, we've got Skylinks. So, I would have said at one time Skylinks does immense damage. Now, not so much. I kind of feel like the meta's shifted a bit. He does good damage, but not amazing. But Skylinks' problem has always been not his damage, not his ability, his general Skylinksness, if that's a word. He just runs off. He has a passive which slows him down. He's quite fast, so he runs off ahead. He's melee, and so he gets right up close. So he just sort of stops and starts and goes forward, then dies. So just really hard to manage. And so sadly, Skynet goes into C tier. Quite a poor bot, if I'm honest with you, which is a shame because it actually does good damage. And when you normally think about bots that do good damage, you automatically think, oh, they'll be quite high. But no, not for Skylink, sadly. I understand lower level players will think he's really good against cluster bases, but once you get to higher levels of the game, he's really, really poor. He really sort of drops down quite quickly. Next up, we've got Springer. So Springer's a bit of a difficult one. Springer I've wanted for a long time, and I'm currently leveling. So he has a couple of uses. So I know in the previous video I put Cup in A tier, and I feel like Springer's going to probably be about the same. And he has got more uses than Cup, really. Because you can use him on a split base to clear an area and then send him over. I know that Tex did that a lot when he was doing war attacks, and it worked really effectively. Really good on backdoors, absolutely amazing. His healing is great. His stun ability is pretty crap. I don't think anyone hardly uses it really. It's not that good. And so, yeah, he has some really, really good uses, especially on backdoor. If we're talking backdoors, and obviously he's S tier, absolutely essential. But in walk teams, not so much. But he is still really good. He is still a really good bot. And I put him in A tier because, like I said, because he's so important for backdoors, which are still viable and still good on split bases. Just carry the Zen farm with him, but you can use him against Sharks. Top tip. Drop some Sharks, send Springer up, he'll get there. So he can be used in other ways as well. So yeah, pretty good bot. Next we've got Sandstorm. And for me, Sandstorm is probably the most underrated triple changer we will talk about. And for me, right up in A tier. Because when you look at his healing stats, it's absolutely immense. Absolutely incredible. Unbelievable. Like Minerva Tower. Unbelievable. Really, really good ability. And even his Toxic Rush is alright. It does a decent amount of damage as well. He's pretty good. Better than what you think. But I have tried a few times to take out a healer and put Sandstorm in. I'm not too sure that's a good enough reason because healers obviously heal for zero abilities because you can zero ability points because they just heal constantly. Sandstorm doesn't quite have that. But he does have that amount of heal that he has that you can sort of use and damage on top as well. So I've talked in the past about having a healer that also attacks, but you know what? We kind of got that already in Sandstorm. So I'm really fond of Sandstorm. I think he's really good. I'm still trying to find a way to fit him into my team because the amount of healing does is crazy. Really, really good since his cost reduction. Really, really good bot, and honestly, really deserves to be in tier. Next we've got Broadside. Now, Broadside's a bit bugged because I was under the impression that you should be able to drop Broadside, drop his healing Medibots, and heal himself. But sadly, that's not possible. They won't heal himself. And so, because of that, he's not very good when it comes to Zen farming, not very good for leveling, things like that, which is a shame, really. But when you've got Medibots and attack bots that are immune, that's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy, honestly, it is. But he's also only a 4-star. He's not got his 5-star version yet. But I actually think he's actually pretty decent. But I like the idea of him in essence, and I think it could be a really, really special bot. But sadly, they also don't do enough damage. The attack bots, and so sadly, it probably goes into D tier. I feel like if they amped up the Medibots a bit, amped up the attack bots a bit, made them so they can target Broadside, and brought him out as a 5-star, I honestly think it'd be up here. Maybe even here. I honestly think like that's how innovative the idea behind his ability is. Really, really good. Sadly, just lacks a bit of that punch that he needs, and the fact he's a bit bugged doesn't work as well. Next up, we've got Double Dealer. I love Double Dealer. He's got a special place in my heart. I've got his G1 version as a bot up there on the shelf somewhere. Really, really cool bot. Liked him in lore as well. But I don't think they did justice. So I spoke to Dale, and Dale said they're going to look at maybe doing a bit of a fix for him where they're going to hopefully reduce his flight time, but then the animation's there, so I'm not too sure they can. I'm not too sure what they're going to do for Double Dealer, but it just does everything. The acid lasts really long, but people don't really combine that acid with fire as much. And I feel like his abilities are a bit pricey to combo together. You can only get a couple of uses out of them, and doesn't really do enough really. So Double Dealer, it does stop healing. His rocket does do quite a bit. You can have range combats. It works as it should. So I'm gonna put Double Dealer in C tier because I actually do like the bot. I don't think it's a bad idea. Broadside's in D tier because he's bugged. He's not working as he should for me. He should be able to heal himself. So he's not quite working as he should. Double Dealer will do a job. I know it's only a 4-star version, so it's quite difficult to judge. But I really do think with a 5-star version, with a bit more damage maybe, or a bit quicker acid or something like that, then I think Double Dealer can be a really good bot. I really do. And last off, we've got Snapdragon. So you can use Snapdragon for backdoors, but I just find it's a bit of a risk when I sort of try it really. Not a big fan of using Snapdragon for backdoors, but I just feel like it lacks a bit of use. And Dale sort of said that, oh, I fixed Snapdragon and now he's better, and I've made him better. And I was like, all right, okay. So I think I leveled my 4-star to like 61, I think it was at the time. I was like, all right, I'll go and give him a go. And I gave him a go, and I was like, I don't see what the appeal is really. I don't see him being really that good. But I don't know. For me, he does what he should. I know he rushes. The combos don't really work out when we talk about the combos. Very similar to Double Dealer. And so for that reason, Snapdragon goes in C tier along with Double Dealer for that reason. That, yeah, the combo idea is nice. It does do a bit of damage we can use here and there, but the combo just doesn't work. It doesn't quite do enough and sort of falls a bit short. So that's my tier list. So as you can see there, we've got a bit of a mix from the healers, but other than Springer and Sandstorm, Triple Changes are struggling a bit and probably need a bit of love and a bit of an improvement. Have we got time for another Triple Changer? Do we need more Triple Changes in the game? It's been a long time since we had our last Triple Changer brought to the game. Is it time we brought another one in? Let me know in the comments, guys. What do you guys think? New Triple Changer in the game. Do you agree with my rankings? Let me know in the comments.